I had a video that was posted to my Facebook group page by known subscriber of mine, brother Demetrius. Shout out to him. And another brother that always keeping me informed on a lot of different things that are going on out here is I believe his name is Gata or Gata. Brother always posting a lot of things in my Facebook group. So I appreciate you guys keeping the people informed and keeping me informed with a lot of things that are going on, because sometimes I'm a real busy guy, so I don't get a chance to really dig deep into the internet and pull out these stories and these things that are going on. But brother Demetrius posted something on my Facebook group page, and it was about this woman addressing single mothers, and there was an article that was written, I believe, by a black man on some of the things that single mothers do to affect their young men. And this has been an ongoing conversation, especially within the black community, because there is a high fluctuation of single parent households, and it's not just excuse me, because black men or black women don't want to take care of their responsibilities. There's a lot of different factors that factor into breaking up the black home. And a lot of people don't talk about that. They want to immediately go to attacking the black father and saying, well, black men need to step up and et cetera, without really focusing on all the intricate moving pieces that contribute to the destruction of the black home. And, I thought it was a really interesting article, and a sister had posted a video responding to the article, and basically saying that she agrees with what was written in the article. And I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys just the first paragraph. If you guys want to check out the full article, I will leave the link in the description box. But it says, ways single mothers destroy their sons. The most toxic environment for a boy growing up is a single mother household. I can tell readers from personal experience that boys don't get all their needs met in a single parent household. Many of the lessons they learn in that hostile territory growing up make them into lost, confused men with no defined sense of identity. And then he goes into a lot of different topics that affect young black men, like speaking negativity about their fathers. And he tackles these in categories, saying negative things about men, teaching their sons to disrespect their father's authority, teaching their sons to disrespect male authority and male authority figures, projecting anger at the father onto the son, which I've talked about in my videos. Not allowing their father to see them, bringing in substitutes for a father. And he goes on and on. I mean, he really gets deep into the structure of the single parent household. But I'm going to go ahead and play a part of what this sister had to say in response to the article. And I'll come back with my commentary.
Good afternoon, my people, my people. So let's just get to the point. So, I posted the article entitled Ways That Black Women Destroy Their Sons. And a lot of women want to get upset about that, but how can you read that article and not find any type of understanding about it? If you read that, I read that article, and I consider myself to be an excellent mother, and my sons will tell you the same. However, when I read that article, I felt convicted on some of the things that were said in there. And I looked at it and I analyzed it for exactly what it was, the truth. You understand what I'm saying? It's like black women just can't find reasoning in so many things. You can't find any type of understanding. Before you sat and read it and really sat there and thought about it, you objected to it because you felt some kind of way about it. I mean, if you are the ones raising sons and the father is gone and he ain't this and he ain't that, then why we got so many problems with our boys? We have problems with our boys because we have problems with these mothers. But you don't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to acknowledge it. You don't want to read an article that can help us get better at doing what we do. Instead, you want to read it and be upset about it. And I know some of you men are reading it and you feel like the article is telling you that you're not a man because your mother raised you. That's not what it's saying. What it's saying is that you're at a disadvantage for sure. if your mother raised you. I ain't never met a man who told me that his mother raised him and she raised him to be a man. I've met men that said that their mother raised him and he knows how to clean a house. I met a man that told me his mother raised him and he know how to cook. I know a man who said that his mother or grandmother or someone raised him and he knows how to treat women. But I've never met a man, me just personally, who said, you know what, I'm a man because my mother raised me to be a man. She can try. Because all she knows is what she knows. She knows what somebody showed her. She knows what someone told her. And she knows what someone experienced. How she experienced other men. She doesn't. And there's different types of men. So the only way that you can learn how to be a man is someone who understands you from the inside out. It's not an exterior thing. You understand what I'm saying? Being a man is something that's internalized. That's why you feel different. That's why men and women argue so much, because we think different. We feel different. Everything is organic. I don't care what you look like on the outside or how you change it. It's what's on the inside. So organically, you are a man, and there's just certain things that a woman can't do. And I don't understand why a black woman would read this article and not find some kind of understanding or be able to relate to it. I know plenty of y'all that's garbage mothers. Garbage. I know a chick, her son called her while she was out, and he's like, Mom, I'm hungry. And she's like, Mother effer, will go in there and find you something to eat. Hell, I'm out. She did a lot more cussing, but I'm just saying. Imagine that being your mom. And some of you don't have to imagine because you had that experience growing up as a child. And I just, just for the life of me, I just can't understand why black women can't never look at themselves objectively enough to see that they are contributing to the problem that we have in society and with our sons. No one's saying that you're not a good mom. Some of you are. Some of you is trash. But what I'm saying is that even if you are a good mother, you wouldn't want to improve on that. You wouldn't want to read an article that could assist you and help you in doing even better as a mother.
Damn, that sister's fine. Baby, won't you come my way? But let me get serious for a minute. Well, I just have to, point that out. Damn, that's an attractive sister. But, I've mentioned before in my videos that, I had the experience of growing up in a 2-parent household and a single parent household. And, my parents were together for a while, and, things took place without, getting into my personal business. Things took place. They separated. My father wasn't really in my life. Even when he was around, I never really had that connection with my biological father. The man who, brought me to be the man that I am now was my grandfather. And to this day, I always thank him and, show a lot of respect to him for teaching me the things that I need to be taught as a child and, someone just growing up and being a black male in America. But, I had the experience of seeing both. And, I don't, a lot of people get mad when, black men, I guess, overly honor their mother that, raised them, or whether they grew up in a single parent household. But, I never get mad at that, because someone coming from that situation, I understand, especially a young black male sitting back and watching your mother do it all and trying to give you the words of wisdom and, the knowledge and wisdom that a man is supposed to do. I understand that. I understand seeing your mom do it all and, taking care of the responsibilities and trying to make sure you got, a roof over your head and clothes on your back and food on the table and et cetera, et cetera. So I never got mad at, brothers that come out here and, show honor to their mother. They grew up in a single parent household, or their father, because that's something that we don't always talk about. There's a lot of fathers out here that are raising children by themselves, but you don't always hear about that. It's always, the mother that's doing everything. And, when it comes to this video, I have to agree with this sister. There was one thing that I couldn't rock with her on, and that was, blaming single mothers for what's going on with these young men out here. And we know what's going on. It's a lot of feminization out here. A lot of these boys, young boys out here, are acting very feminine. They don't know how to conduct themselves. They don't know how to be men. They're basically taking on characteristics of a woman, and you got the women that are taking on characteristics of a man. But I feel like when we talk about raising our children, we have to take an account of both people. We can't say that, because you're a single mother or a single father, but I want to focus on the mothers. Because you're a single mother and you're raising your kids on your own, and your son is out there displaying, feminine tendencies, or out there being destructive, we're gonna solely throw it all on you. We're gonna say, oh well, it's your fault and you should be a better mother, and et cetera, et cetera. We're gonna throw it all on that single mother because she's the one raising that son. When in reality, we have a lot of men out here that need to step up as being fathers. And it's not just about money. A lot of times, guys, because of our egos and the way society trains us, we feel like we are not or can't be a productive father in our children's lives if we're not generating a certain income, or we don't have a certain job. And there's more to being a father than making sure your kids got things that they need that require financial stability. There's things that you need to teach your children, like integrity. Teach a young man how to conduct themselves as men. Teach them how to do necessary things like put on a condom, being able to interact with women and other men that are around them. There's wisdom, character. These are things that a father teaches their son. And I feel like when we talk about, the destruction of some of our, young black men out here, we got to talk about both sides. We got to hold both the man and the woman accountable for what's going on. Because it takes two people to lay down. We can't, throw that all on the single mother because she's the one that has full custody of the son. We can't do that because that would be wrong. But everything else that this woman said, she was dead on point. There are a lot of mothers out here that do a lot of things to not only the young black males, but the black women out here. There's a lot of things that mothers do that are just off the bat, and just wrong. Like talking down to their sons and making them feel like, they're inadequate as a young male, because a lot of times all women look at that young son as the direct counterpart of the men that left them in their lives. Excuse me. And we have a lot of women that take things out on their sons because they're angry with that man, or they want to overly go above their range and try to somewhat teach their sons to be a man, when in reality you can't do that. Now, like I said, with my life, I grew up in a single parent household, and I had a lot of cats around me that taught me things. I had an uncle that was a Black Panther. I have several uncles who served in the military. I had a grandfather that was basically the father figure in my life. I had a whole different, well balanced of men in my life that helped me become the man that I am today. And a young black boy needs that in his life, especially in the world we're living in today, because it's just some things that a mother cannot teach that son. And a lot of our women out here, you have to be honest with that. But as far as just the black community in general, we have to be more selective and more cautious about the people that we create children with. I've expressed that a lot in my videos. Just because you quote unquote are in lust with someone, or you've been together for a year or 2 years, doesn't mean that you need to lay down and have a child with that person. That's for men and women. We have to start being more cautious about the people that we lay down with, because there's a lot of unwanted children that are being created that cannot be supported mentally and financially and emotionally. And what it's doing is creating destruction within our community, because you have a lot of these young ladies coming up. Their mothers taught them, if I'm gonna use some of the words that a lot of these women say. If the nigga ain't got no money, or he can't do this and this for you, you don't need to mess with him. And they're ignoring the fact that there's a lot of different qualities that you should look for in a man besides just financial stability. And that's because that father figure is not in the home. And that's why we need balance in our homes nowadays, because that's really been a big destruction within our homes, along with racism and the welfare system and black men being cast out of the workforce. A lot of different moving parts that really created the destruction of the black home. But at the same time, we also have to turn the mirror around. We have to look at some of the things that we contribute. But I mean, I have to take my hat off to this sister coming out here and speaking to some of the black women out here, because a lot of times when us black men, when we come out and we talk about certain things and we say, hey, you might not want to do that with your son. You might not want to be, exposing your son to certain things. A lot of times we get attacked. Black women to come out and say, you don't take care of him. You're not his father. Woo, 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 and they attack us. When in reality, we're looking back and we're seeing some of the things that are going to be potentially destructive to that young black male, because a lot of us grew up in that same position. But it's just it's really just things that we have to really think about out here and really have to take into consideration and start making more wise decisions out here and really educate ourselves on the global picture of also what's creating a lot of destruction within our households and what's causing a lot of separation between the black male and the black woman. But if you guys want to check out, the sister's full video, I will leave it in my Facebook group. You guys can add it in the description box. I'll leave the link to the article if you guys want to read on it. But let's start unifying. Let's start making more positive decisions out here. Let's start raising our young black males to be men. Because I like I said, I think my grandfather every day. He's in Chicago right now. I miss him because I talk to him, I express things to him, and he's that male figure that I can go to when I need to have a man-to-man conversation. Every young black male needs that in their life. Because, like I said, there's just some things a mother cannot do. The mother has a role and the father has a role. And, I find myself, being a male figure to a lot of my nieces and nephews. They know when I say something, if I say sit down, you sit down. I teach my nephews to be men. Don't ask for handouts. Go out here and don't be afraid to earn a living. Don't be afraid to stand alone. Don't be afraid to be a leader. Be able to think before you act and you speak. Knowing how to pick up certain things that are out here in the world when people are being disrespectful to you or they're displaying racism. Knowing how to articulate yourself. These are things that a man has to contain to be someone productive in society. And I think that's missing in a lot of our households, nowadays. But that's my thoughts on it. You guys give me your feedback if you want. The links will be in the description box. I'm out. Let's be good to each other. Let's create stronger and more productive black families. Peace.